The Centre for Early Childhood Development tracked down 25 South Africans to tell their stories, while over 90 children from 6 schools contributed artwork. Our reporter Michael Appel is among a number of South Africans to share their Madiba story. We say good morning to him now. He's in our Cape Town studio. Michael, a very good morning to you. Fortunate, privileged to be mentioned in this book. Tell us how that happened.
Yeah, certainly so. It was by virtue of the fact that my father was the ambassador, the first ambassador to be appointed to the Middle East post-1994. And in July, 12th of July 1995, I remember my mother hurriedly getting me dressed because the president was coming on one of his first state visits to the Middle East and the tiny island of Bahrain. So 10-year-old Michael was pushed into his first very smart shirt and shoved in a tie around his neck. And that was my Madiba moment. And in the package, which you're about to hear, you'll find out a little bit more about the interactions which the most famous statesman, arguably the world over, had with 10-year-old Michael and his brother and numerous other children on the day.
I'm very privileged to have been asked to speak at a Mandela Day event happening at UCT, organized by the Centre for Early Childhood Development. It's time to fly to Cape Town.
It's a quick trip to a bustling OR Tambo International Airport for my trip to the mother's city. We have liftoff. And in the blink of an eye, it's wheels down. The new lecture theatre at the University of Cape Town is humming with the excitement of children and their parents who can't wait to get their hands on a copy of the new Madiba and Children book. A collection of stories and photos of those richer by the experience of having shared a moment with the man himself. It's difficult to sum up the man who gave so much, but this is pretty close.
A freedom fighter, politician, husband, an icon, a friend, and a father of the nation.
Tassin Albertain's mother was one of the 4 personal assistants to Madiba and remembers how Mandela's presence even eclipsed the king of pop, who was also there.
All I saw was this really powerful person, and I actually barely noticed Michael Jackson, which talks a lot about how he influenced people.
As was so characteristic of the man, he would go out of his way to speak to children, even at the most uptight government events, like the one I found myself at on the 12th of April, 1995.
He asked my brother what he wants to be when he grows up. My brother said, I want to be a pilot. He went on to be a pilot, and he said, I could see the planes flying from my cell on Robben Island. I was always fascinated with planes. Then he asked me, and as you'll read in the book, I said I wanted to be a soldier. I was very obsessed with being a soldier at the time. I didn't go on to become a soldier, but I do hope that I fight a different fight, a fight that he would be proud of every day as a journalist.
Tony Ngeni's daughter Nandi admits the moment may have been too big for her.
He wanted to take a picture with me, since I was the youngest one in the group, just with me and him, and it took forever because they couldn't get me to smile because I was so nervous. I was so starstruck, and everyone's like, why are you not smiling? And I'm just sitting there, and that's why most of the pictures are coming out. I'm not really smiling, I'm just like, what's going on?
Children are the future, and Professor Atmore says we have to do better.
If we can work with children in those formative years, those children will grow up strong and productive adults. But I'm afraid we're not doing it to the degree that we should be.
As Madiba would have wanted, we had to make time for the children.
I like Tata Madiba. He is a nice guy.
What does it mean to be born free? What did Madiba do for us?
So Madiba fought for us to have freedom. So that is why I say we are born free. So because that we are in a peaceful world and that we have freedom, that is why we are born free.
We thank you, Madiba, for the work you did and for the children of our nation. You will forever be remembered as a hero.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Michael Appel, Cape Town.